welcome to another episode of Falling Upwards. It's sunny here in the UK, or maybe not. Maddie's been shaking her head. The weather down south is nice. The weather up north is not so nice. But you know who has a sunny disposition no matter what? It's Maddie Armstrong.
It's me.
Woo!
Hello.
Is it actually cloudy there?
It's completely overcast.
It looks so sunny through your curtains.
Dark and scary. Well, that's because they're bright orange, Emma. So it's always going to look sunny through those. But no, it's very gloomy outside.
No, it's sunny here, but not warm. It's cold. Someone sent me a text message the other day being like, this maybe sums up the British attitude to weather, because I know you and I both like the heat. And somebody sent me a text message saying, oh, look at the forecast. It's 16 and sunny. Time to book your sunbathing spot. And I messaged them back like, no, 16 is still cold. 16 is not sunbathing weather. What are you on?
I have sunbathed in 16 before.
What? How? It's cold.
Shorts, cami. No, listen, the British person can gaslight themselves into... Because it's like, you never know if this is going to be the best you'll get for the year, so you have to make do.
16.
Yeah, 16 Celsius.
I was out in London in 16 the other day, and I was still like, coat, scarf, jumper. I was waiting for the train, talking to my mum, like, Mum, it's still cold. How could they tell me to sunbathe? It's still cold. This is barely mild.
Yeah, but you're in London, so like all the buildings are block out all the sunlight anyway.
That's true. Yeah, very true.
But if you're in a nice garden where the breeze is blocked off from hedges, right? And you're just lying there like a starfish, under the sun. 16 degrees is better than 6 degrees. Well, it's worked for me, so.
What would you like to bring to Mad News today, Maddie?
I can do a perfect impression of someone snoring. And this is a skill I've had for a long time.
I was just about to ask, is this something you've just discovered? But no.
No, I had it since I remember doing it in year 7 in school, right? Because we went on this trip to France, and the girl that I was rooming with recorded a video of me pretending to snore, and she was like playing along with it. She was like, oh, Maddie's snoring, ha. And at the end I was like, don't actually show this to anyone. But in hindsight, I've always thought she probably did send it to people. We weren't that close, and that would have been a hilarious thing to send people. So
can you do the snoring impression for us to hear?
Well, obviously. Thank you. Do you like the very well-timed breaths at the end of every snore? Can you tell I've spent a lot of time wide awake in the middle of the night while family members around me are snoring their life away? I have timed it all perfectly because I know exactly how someone sounds when they're asleep. Because I've always the one awake, Emma. Years of childhood insomnia has led me to this moment.
It's actually a very good impression.
Thank you.
Because I think a lot of people, when they do a snoring impression, they're like, I don't know, or something. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like throaty, phlegmy, but that was very... I felt like I was hearing someone snore.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Well, it's still Maddie's party this week because for the first time
Viva
ever...
la Madolution!
Oh my God. Because for the first time ever on the show so far, Maddie is bringing a pre-recorded interview for us to listen to. We're so excited. Who did you interview, Maddie? Tell us more about it.
Wave to Earth. They're a very cool Korean rock band with a very chill vibe, and they were lovely to talk to. And rather ironically, I think it's our first interview on Falling Upwards that was primarily not in English.
We love this.
And between me and Emma speaks much better Korean than I do. So that is just a lovely bit of irony. But we still got through it, and it was still nice talking to the boys. So without further ado, well, congratulations, Wave to Earth, on a successful North American tour and selling out no less. Now you're coming to Europe and the UK. What are you most excited to show UK fans, and what are you most excited about being here?
So, it's our second time in Europe. We already had so many great experience back in 2024. Just personal experience too. It was the first time being in Europe, to see our fans and see the city views. So this time, we're, particularly excited to kind of perform our new album there. And again, we're being in big venues this time, so just looking forward to see our fans again.
Lovely. Do you have any specific songs then that you're excited to perform to UK Europe fans?
I think Annie, because it's our first explicit song.
That bit made me laugh after the event, because I wasn't expecting them to say that, really.
They sounded so lovely, and it's so nice whenever we get to have like artists from Asia come to Europe, because it always feels like they stop in the USA, in North America first, and they always have such big fan bases in like Europe and South America, and it always feels like we have to wait so long for them to come over.
And especially, I tried to like make a point of this at the actual time, but this is a part of the world that loves rock so much. I mean, obviously the whole world loves rock, but like it especially the UK, we've got such a history in rock, so always gonna celebrate it. And it makes me think of W24 when we spoke to them, and they had such a devoted following in the UK. They went to Manchester as well as London. They went to different parts of the UK, and Wave to Earth will see that in the UK as well. I think they'll really, no matter what size venues they're at, they will really feel that love in those venues. That's like at every single concert I've ever been to, whether I'm attending to listen to it or when I'm photographing it, when I'm photographing it, rock is always the one that people go the craziest for. Like it can honestly be the smallest venue. It can be like, I think the smallest one I've been to is like 20 people.
Wow.
And people still aren't afraid to celebrate like the person on stage and just go mad for the guitarist and whatever, It's just like at the Key Club that we talked about when we were with Alien Blaze, So I'm excited for them. To see that love. Because, they'll get love everywhere, but I think it's something to brag about.
We do have such a love of like live instrumentalists, live artists, and such a great gig culture in the UK that really, to your point about just loving rock here, loving rock and alternative, and loving bands here. Like I was watching a reactor reacting to a video about stuff that British people loved in the UK, and so many people said like the music scene and the gig scene was something that they loved, because we just have, whether it's a small venue, like you were talking about small venues, or like Glastonbury, people love seeing live bands, people love hearing live instrumentalists, don't they?
And even musicians that they don't even know. There's a lot of people that will show up to a concert or that are at a festival already seeing other artists but don't know a specific one that's on, and they will have a good time. They will, really celebrate who's on stage. And I think that's really lovely. But I think it also comes from the fact that most people are a lot more sort of reserved, I feel, in day-to-day life. We don't like to confront or whatever. So when it comes time, when it's an appropriate situation to let loose a bit, like when you're drinking with your mates or when you're at a gig, that's when they sort of let out that animal inside them, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think like we embrace as well, I think British people really embrace things feeling like quite grounded and quite like, and that have imperfections, you know, and that's what comes with like live performances, that somebody's voice might crack a little bit or you actually hear what the instrument sounds like, and that lends itself to people liking to feel in touch with the artist they're seeing.
Yeah.
It's
kind of like why at a bar, whenever a glass smashes, all the boys in the bar have to go, "Way!" Before I even said it, you knew exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So they'll get a warm welcome.
Lovely. Well, I'm sure UK fans will really appreciate it, as a country that has always historically appreciated rock music so much. You've got this lovely classic escapist sound that just makes you feel like you're in another world. Can I ask what goes into creating your sound, and how long did it take you to forge your sonic identity as a band?
So already the band members itself had their own skills, you know, developed skills. So kind of combining that, like each person's skills in one already, that kind of an influence, he thinks. And yeah, so it's really just a pure joy doing that process.
Thank you for translating. Well, obviously you've had so many successes so far, and on our podcast, something we always like to do is ask amazing artists and guests what sort of tribulations they've been through to get to this point in their careers. So our signature question is, Wave to Earth, what is one of your favorite failures?
웨이브 토스의 가장 그 실패 기억나는 실패는 뭐가 있나요? So talking about failures, he said that his previous band was kind of a failure to him, so that's why it was a foundation to make a new band, Wave to Earth. He talks about that. Dongkyu also has failed experience of his previous band, so that kind of experience solidified him, and he's trying to grow up since then.
When I only speak like low intermediate Korean, but when they were laughing about 실패 and you know all that, I knew what was going through their heads. But I do think it's a fun question, and I do wonder if one day we're gonna have someone that just refuses to answer.
I feel like we've had a lot of people that have kind of gone round it, where they've been like, I don't consider anything a failure.
Yeah.
But I loved his response. I think, especially like in arts and stuff, people assume that you kind of come up with an idea and you keep on going till it's perfect. But sometimes actually you do work on a concept and then you try it for a long time and then it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And I love that he said that you know, he had a band before and they clearly would have tried making it work. And he went, actually, that's like, we've just got to can it. Just doesn't work.
But it led him to finding the right place, and like they have so many listeners now. They have so many fans. They're huge now. Wave to Earth are huge. So it wasn't a futile pursuit to be with that first band that helps them grow. And that is a really lovely like little life lesson, I suppose.
Yeah, because you take like, even if he's not thinking about it consciously, the stuff that didn't work in that previous band is what will have helped him make his decision with the new one. Yeah. But you've got to have projects where sometimes that project, like, I know we try to be, you know, just keep trying, keep working it out till it makes sense. Sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Do you know? It just doesn't work. But then he went, okay, let's do something different. And that something different actually worked in a different way. You know?
Everything in life is precious. I'm not saying things are meant to happen, because, you know, I don't believe in that, but you take everything with you that you've ever been through, and that's what builds you, whether you like it or not.
But like, you think how many plays get scrapped, how many books get scrapped, how many screenplays get scrapped. So it's not that you tried it and like you've just had to keep pushing. Sometimes it's just like, this just did not work.
Yeah.
Like it just did not. It's nice that his example was just that actually I had a project and it's not that I didn't like it, but it's just that it wasn't, didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a passing through the fire. You fall before you fly. It's helped. These experiences have helped you to refine yourselves and become who you are today. Daniel and Donkey, you've both known each other since you were so young. How have you both managed to keep up your partnership as musicians whilst having grown and changed so much as people? And how did you know that Soonjong was the perfect fit for the band?
So making the first EP album, Wave 0.01, we needed a bassist in our sound. So but like finding a great match with Dongkyu, because Dongkyu has like a unique sound, or maybe a unique characteristics. So that's why John kind of came up in sight. And after we had a rehearsal together, there was a electric feel after that, and from then we just had to be together from that point.
It was fates.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that electric feel.
Me too. Oh.
And it's so like relevant to the fact that they're a rock. But I mean, I know that their sound is very soft, but electric feel, like that's cool.
I love that.
They're cool.
That's so lovely.
And they're also like soulmates. It's just lovely.
It blows my mind that two of them were together for since middle school. Since middle school. Like, you think how much you change, like, as not just creatively, like just as people. And for them to still be like, yeah, we love working together. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So many of your friends from like primary school, you wouldn't be able to stand them like as an adult. But I have like one or two people, I didn't know them in school, but I knew them since I was a baby. And I'm still friends with them, but the dynamic is different, I was once best friends with someone that I'm just a friend of now, and that's fine. That's the only way we can sort of exist together.
Yeah.
But to start off being close and to stay close throughout your entire life, that's some soulmate stuff right there. Like, they were just meant to be a band.
Oh,
it's lovely that they cared so much about finding someone that was right with, members that already had their flair. Because you can see that hear that rather, in their music.
Right.
They have an identity, a sonic identity, as past Maddie said. They have their sound, and that works when you have the right people that work together. And they did that. Why am I annoyed? I don't know. They have such a lovely sound, and I, like, as an indie fan, I was properly vibing with their music because it is really chill.
It's beautiful how they've come together. Absolutely beautiful.
So we're sure fans are so excited to see you soon, but what are you all personally enjoying in your lives right now that you'd like to share with fans, besides your music, of course?
When during tours, we don't have much time to rest. So just coming back to Korea and spending time with families, and we have a little time to make music also. So during this time, I think we're just preparing our next step in various kind of ways. Daniel is also preparing his new album of his another band, The Pulse.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We want to share that. Yeah, we're resting and making music.
Fabulous. So just keep on going, but also take the time to rest when you can, is what you'd like to pass on.
Love that.
Not a smoothie or a little game, but just rest is what they'd like to exchange, which is fair.
Love that. We love a good cha-ching time. Maddie, what's your cha-ching time for this week?
So I watched my first Chinese drama from MA's recommendation, and it has changed my life. I believe it was a Xianxia. Is that how you pronounce it? Because, I've been watching like Korean dramas since 2017, and I've reviewed lots of different Asian films. So I've reviewed Chinese films before, but it was my first Chinese drama, and I'm telling you, C-dramas, I wasn't aware of your game. And now I'm just entirely, because I didn't realize that there would be like nuanced differences in what goes into making these. But you shouldn't compare things, obviously, but like there was so much like arts itself in the show that I just appreciated so much as someone that's always had this type of art deep in her heart, but didn't have many forms to enjoy it in. Like I truly, truly enjoyed the show, and it's honestly one of my top 3 of all time now. So I'm going to exchange Chinese dramas. Check one out. Maybe it'll be a Xianxia or a Wuxia or the other types, which I can't remember. I think just from what I've seen, which is one, by the way, but from what I've seen, fantasy is a beloved genre that they really will go all out on if it is fantasy. So if that is your cup of tea, have a look.
And you know what? They love their historical period settings. Can't go wrong. If you love a period drama, there are endless Chinese dramas. Endless Chinese dramas to watch.
Because this is something that I noticed. I know I said I wouldn't compare, but just to sort of provide something for me to go off of. My favorite type of Korean drama has always been traditional. I love culture, and growing up, without even realizing it, my favorite art form was like traditional Eastern art, because I just grown up seeing it in the odd places and been so fascinated by it, and seeing that in different forms come to life, it just all parts of me just enjoys it. But what I've noticed in Korean traditional, even if it is a bit fantasy, they try and be as realistic as possible. They try and be as like on set, not computer generated. What I noticed with this drama is that if they wanted to do something but reality couldn't provide it, they would find a way anyway. And I really appreciated the imagination of it. I seriously did. It was just so stunning. So that is something I really appreciate about it.
Oh, I love that. We love that.
Yay!
Oh gosh, what will I get? You know what? I will contribute to the exchange. Cheese boards. I love cheese boards. I know I've spoken about cheese at length, but I think it's becoming my life now.
Yeah, don't we have a cheese talk last time?
We did, and I was thinking about it at length over the past fortnight because cost of living is hitting everybody, and finding those little luxuries that make you happy without breaking the bank is getting harder and harder to find for a lot of people. And I've realized that actually just spending £1 or £2 more on a slightly more fancy block of cheese brings me more joy than I realized it did. So cheese boards has become my life now. Again,
we are discriminating against the lactose intolerant here.
Yes. Sorry about that.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, no, I've found that is a thing. Like I used to have a cheese journal when I was younger, and I've brought back the cheese journal, and I'm just.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. So much satisfaction from it.
The cheese journal.
That I'm like, £4 on a block of cheese gives me as much satisfaction as if I had, I don't know. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I need to hear about this cheese journal.
Yeah, it's a cheese. So you know how like some people keep like chocolate journals or tea journals or wine journals to like.
Not really.
Yeah, they do. Oh my God.
Is this a Ponzi Southerner thing?
No, you can buy like specialty journals. Like, because people want to record like
the cheese journal,
their experiences with that type of food, that food type. I used to have a tea journal. I don't update it anymore. But I've realized, I've been updating my cheese journal. And it's so I just
Can I see this?
It's like I've digitized it now, so it's basically categorized as like what country it's from, where did I get the cheese. So, you know, say if I've had a Gruyere, it might be, you know, which Gruyere is it, how does it taste, what does it pair well with. It's a luxury, a very low budget luxury. Maybe, here's a suggestion, if you want to try it, dear listeners, watch a Chinese drama whilst eating a cheese board. Best of both worlds.
Love yourself. That's the most important thing.
Let's love together.
Good word.
I don't know why that was so funny to them. That's a great message. Let's all love together.
Yeah.
Yay. That's a really cute message.
What would you like your sign-off message to be?
I wasn't actually snoring. Because I'm not... Okay, I have to have that disclaimer, okay? I don't actually snore. I'm just really good at imitating people who snore. It wasn't real. I'm not having this haunt me. And Emma?
My sign-off message will be, try to get 8 hours of sleep if you can.
Says you.
Well, this is why I'm saying it, because I've, like, in the past few weeks, my average has been between 4 to 6, and this is why I feel like death. So, you know, if, especially, again, during this time of year, very busy, exams, stress for a lot of people, and then, like, you know, maybe I should burn the midnight oil, get a bit of late sleep, less sleep, so that I can do more. Don't do it. Don't do it. Promise you, just sleep. Do it tomorrow. Don't do it. Because it's a slippery slope. You'll start one night and you'll be like, oh, it's okay. And then you're 21 nights in and you're like, what is the sun? I don't know. What are days? It's not worth it, folks.
Oh my goodness, I'm like 2,100 nights in. My sleep schedule is so weird. It's like 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the moment. If I'm not, if I don't have anything to do that day, that is when I will sleep.
That is wild. That is wild.
But you know what? I think it happens because at nighttime when it's silent, it's much easier for me to get things done.
I think that as well. Yeah. Less bother around you.
It keeps knocking later and later.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, no, I get it. I think that's why I prefer doing work at night as well. Because like, in the daytime, you feel like you should, I don't know, frolic or whatever. But at nighttime, you're like, nothing else is on, just focus. But unlike you, I don't like, you're a good sleeper. I don't sleep all the way through. Whereas I'm just like, okay, I've still got to wake up in the morning. So then I do 4 hours. And then I don't know what my left from my right is. So please sleep 8 hours. Maddie didn't snore and sleep 8 hours.
Thank you for joining us on the lawn, Wave to Earth.
Thank you. Yeah. And Wave to Earth will be coming to European shores very, 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 very soon. So please do go and check them out. We will leave the link in the description below. Congratulations to Maddie for bringing her very first interview onto the lawn. Woo! And thank you for listening to another episode of Falling Upwards.
Bye!